Welcome to Elderly Wisdom, where life experience speaks louder than trends. Today's video is titled, Why I Regret Moving into a Nursing Home: 6 Hard Truths You Must Know. These are lessons learned the hard way, and I'm sharing them so you or your loved ones can make informed decisions. Please do me one small favor. Leave one subscribe, one comment, and one like for this valuable video of yours. And don't forget to share it on social media, with friends, or anyone who might benefit. Your support helps keep wisdom alive for future generations. Let's begin. Regret 1: Loss of privacy is real. When you move into a nursing home, one of the first things you lose is your sense of privacy, and it hits harder than you expect. In your own home, you control who enters your space when you sleep, eat, or just want quiet time. But in a nursing facility, that control fades quickly. Staff may walk in without knocking, often with good intentions, but still, it feels invasive. Roommates are assigned to you, not chosen, and they come with their own habits, noise, and personalities. There's no guarantee you'll have the same room for long either. Even your personal belongings are never fully yours anymore. Things get moved, misplaced, or handled by others. Conversations are often overheard, and moments of true solitude become rare. For someone who's lived independently their whole life, this constant exposure can feel like a slow erosion of dignity. Privacy is something you never think much about until it's gone. And once it's gone, it's one of the things you miss the most. Regret 2: You're just another number. Even in the best nursing homes with kind and well-meaning staff, it's hard to ignore the feeling that you've become part of a system focused more on routine than relationships. Staff have tight schedules and dozens of residents to care for, which means they often don't have the time to truly get to know you, your story, your preferences, your quirks. You become Room 207 or the 8 a.m. medication instead of the person you once were. A mother, a teacher, a veteran, an artist. Everything runs on efficiency: bathing schedules, medication times, meal routines. There's little room for the personal touches that once made your life yours. You might tell your story once, maybe twice, but few have the time to really listen, to really see you. That loss of identity weighs heavily. When you're treated more like a task than a human being, it chips away at your spirit. It reminds you that in this system, your uniqueness often gets lost in the shuffle. Regret 3: Isolation hits. One of the cruelest surprises in a nursing home is how lonely it can feel, even when you're surrounded by people. Yes, there are other residents, nurses, aides, and staff moving in and out, but meaningful connection? That becomes rare. Conversations often stay surface level, and the deeper relationships that make us feel truly known and understood are few and far between. Family visits, once a regular joy, start to space out. Life gets busy for others: kids, jobs, responsibilities, and before long, you're just another item on their to-do list. Friends from outside the home slowly stop calling, and the world you once lived in begins to shrink. You start to wonder if anyone truly remembers who you used to be. The days blend together. You watch the seasons change through the window, not through experiences. The silence becomes louder than the chatter in the halls. It's a kind of isolation that doesn't just affect the heart. It touches the soul, and you feel forgotten more often than you'd ever want to admit. Regret 4: Daily choices disappear. One of the most unexpected losses in a nursing home is the disappearance of everyday choices, the little things that once gave your life rhythm, comfort, and personality. In your own home, you decided when to wake up, what to eat, what to wear, or whether to enjoy a cup of tea on the porch. But here, those freedoms quietly fade away. Meals are served on a set schedule, often with limited options. You might not get to choose your favorite dish or even when to eat it. Wake-up calls happen early, often at the same time for everyone, regardless of your personal habits. Bathing, medication, activities, it all runs on a strict routine. These may seem like small things, but over time, the impact is deep. Without the ability to make your own decisions, you start to feel like you've lost control over your life. It's not just about comfort, it's about dignity. When the freedom to choose is taken away, life starts to feel less like yours and more like something being managed for you. Regret 5. Decline feels faster. Here in a nursing home, you're constantly surrounded by reminders of aging, illness, and fragility. You see wheelchairs lined up in hallways, hear the sounds of pain or confusion, and watch others around you slip deeper into decline. It's hard not to absorb that energy. Over time, it begins to shape how you see yourself. You may come in feeling relatively independent, but the environment often encourages stillness over activity, quiet over conversation. There's a passive rhythm to daily life. Meals brought to you, medications handed out. Television is the main form of stimulation. Motivation begins to fade. The days blur together, and with little to strive for, you start to slow down mentally and physically. Even if you want to stay active or engaged, opportunities are limited. Without purpose or challenge, you can start to feel like you're fading into the background. It's not always the aging itself that breaks you down. It's the loss of meaningful engagement. In this setting, decline doesn't just happen, it accelerates. Regret 6. Regret comes late. Perhaps the hardest truth to face is this. Regret often arrives when it's too late to change course. Moving into a nursing home might seem like the safe, logical choice at the time, especially when you're tired, overwhelmed, or concerned about your health. But what no one tells you is how much of your independence, identity, and freedom you quietly give up in the process. At first, it feels manageable. Then slowly, you start to notice all the things you no longer have control over: your routine, your choices, your space. You realize that you've traded away far more than you expected, but by the time you fully understand what's been lost, you may no longer have the strength, support, or resources to return to the life you once had. The walls close in, and you're left with the haunting thought, did I give up too soon? It's a quiet kind of heartbreak. The realization that the decision meant to protect you also stripped away the very things that made you feel alive. Conclusion. Moving into a nursing home may seem like the safest option, but the reality often brings unexpected sacrifices: privacy, purpose, independence, and identity. These 6 hard truths aren't meant to scare you, but to prepare you. If you or a loved one are considering this step, do it with eyes wide open. Ask the tough questions. Explore every option. Because once the decision is made, going back isn't always easy. If this message resonated with you, please leave 1 like, 1 comment, and 1 subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Stay wise, stay strong,